Good evening from the Channel's newsroom in London. China has so far allocated over 80 billion yuan, the equivalent of more than $11.5 billion US, for prevention and control efforts of the coronavirus spread. Neighbouring Hong Kong, who have 56 confirmed cases of the deadly virus, have pledged $3.2 billion to local hospital authorities and businesses grappling with the outbreak.
Today's initiative to announce the setting up of this fund with an estimated amount of 25 billion is again one of those commitments to the people of Hong Kong. So my biggest concern now is really for us to overcome this public health crisis together, and so that we could then focus on relaunching Hong Kong and rebuilding Hong Kong's economic strength.
China's National Health Commission said it had recorded 121 new deaths and 5,090 new coronavirus cases on the mainland yesterday, taking the total number of infected to over 64,000 and the total number of deaths to more than 1,400. Spanish authorities have rescued a group of 86 migrants from the Atlantic Ocean, including a baby who was born during the journey. Emergency services said the newborn was taken to a hospital along with its mother and 3 other pregnant women on arrival. The migrants, all of them from sub-Saharan Africa, were travelling on 3 boats which were picked up just south of the island of the Gran Canaria. In January, a newborn baby was found dead on a boat of migrants that had left West Africa and had travelled the same route. On the sidelines of the 3-day Munich Security Conference, the United States Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper, has emphasized that a global coalition of 82 countries was still determined to defeat ISIS. Speaking to media alongside his German counterpart, Esper stressed that it was imperative to maintain pressure on the terror group in Iraq and Syria. Campaigning has kicked off in Iran ahead of this month's parliamentary elections. More than 7,000 candidates have been approved to compete in the February 21st ballot, which will see the appointment of lawmakers for the country's 290-seat parliament. The vote is seen as a popularity test for the clerical establishment at a time when relations with Washington are at their worst since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. The vote will have no major influence on foreign affairs or Iran's nuclear policy, which is determined by Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. According to the UN, more than 800,000 Syrians, mostly women and children, have fled their homes since the start of a Russian-backed Syrian military campaign to clear the opposition in northwest Syria. Russian jets and Syrian artillery have pounded towns and villages since December last year in a renewed assault backed by pro-Iranian militias and is aimed at clearing the opposition. Officials from the World Food Programme say the region is on the brink of a humanitarian catastrophe. The favoured candidate of the French President Emmanuel Macron in the upcoming elections for Paris mayor has dropped out of the race after the emergence of an explicit video and some of his private messages appeared online. The sudden withdrawal of Benjamin Griveaux, who gave up his job as government spokesman to stand as mayor of the French capital, is seen as a huge blow for Macron and his governing party as it prepared for nationwide elections. In an emotional press conference, Griveaux, who had been running third in the opinion polls, called the attacks against him dishonourable.
Cette décision me coûte, mais mes priorités.
It's a hard decision for me, but my priorities are very clear. My family first. You have understood that.
Vous l'aurez compris.
And it's also our project for Paris that we have built and for which we have fought a lot.
Pour lequel nous sommes beaucoup battus. Ce projet,
this project today will be better off without me.
Il vivra mieux sans moi.
Thanks to our campaigning teams who have never counted their time in the last months.
Qui ne comptent pas leurs heures depuis tant de mois. Merci.
Thanks to the people on my electoral list for being so committed.
Pour leur engagement. Merci.
Thanks to all who participate to this great adventure.
Qui participent à cette formidable aventure.
And finally, a spectacular volcanic eruption that sent ash column 6,500 feet into the air. This dramatic display was captured on Thursday night, and it's the Gunung Merapi, an active volcano in central Java, Indonesia. The island of Java is almost entirely of volcanic origin and has more than 40 active volcanoes. Disaster management authorities are warning tourists and locals to stay outside a nearly 2-mile radius from the peak of the volcano. And that's your international news around the world in 5.